Hi Taurus, happy birthday and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your May 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and I'll also pull the 4 agreements and wisdom of the oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology guys we have in front of us to get an idea where your focus should be as far as that goes. Right, we have Mars. So Mars will pretty much be in Leo all of May, which is your 4th house of home, roots, family. We have 10. So 10th house for you guys is actually Aquarius, and 10th house in general points to career and social status. And as far as energies going on in Aquarius, we're actually going to have Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius right at the beginning of the month. So could definitely see some shifts around that area of life. And we have Gemini. So Gemini is actually your 2nd house of possessions, self-worth, and finances. Of course, when we get toward the end of May, we'll actually be in Gemini season. But aside from that, we'll also have Mercury going into Gemini toward the very end of May. And then also we have Jupiter in there as well. So definitely could be impacting 2nd house for you guys as well. All right, so we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 7 of Wands, Leo energy, and challenging that, we have the Hermit, Virgo energy. So really what I'm seeing with this could just be saying that maybe you guys are going to have a lot of demands on your time this month. On the one hand, could just be as simple as people just coming around wanting you to come out, celebrate your birthday, right? Things along those lines. But whatever the case, even if it's that or just things around your home and family, that seems to be demanding a lot of your time, which could be the case given that we mentioned Mars would be in that house for you guys. Looks like the challenge is you might just have work on your mind, right? So maybe you feel like whatever you have going on in your work lives could be a little bit overwhelming. And then to have anything else outside of that demanding a lot of your time could just have you feeling overwhelmed this month. In the foundation position, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, so this is Virgo energy here. And given that Hermit energy basically is looking right at the 8 of Pentacles within the spread, says to me that seems to be the issue, right? It seems like you guys have a lot that you're taking on with your work lives, maybe some of you even business owners, so you're pretty much working for yourselves, so you have no choice but to dedicate your time and energy to that. But either way, looks like it's saying that you're putting a lot of energy toward that this month. All right. In the past position, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So this is actually a Taurus energy here, and this could be pointing to why you are working so hard, right? You might have felt like you were falling behind. And I mean, if you just look at the current climate, pretty much, I mean, it's more or less starting in the United States, but all around the world at this point with all of these tariffs on and off, right? Stuff like that. So maybe you guys just started to realize that, okay, whatever you were making, you felt like you were still falling behind regardless, right? So you could just feel like, okay, I have to put in even more money just to keep up to where I used to have a standard of living. All right, in the present position, we have the Page of Wands. So yeah, some of you could even just be exploring maybe changing your environment as well, right? So maybe you're feeling like, okay, maybe where you're at now could also be leading to some stagnation as well, to where like, okay, I need to maybe broaden my horizons, right? So like I said, let's say if you are a business owner, maybe you're looking at expanding that in some ways, you could have further reach. But yeah, either way, it looks like you're just in an exploratory energy this month. In the near future position, we have Justice. So this is Libra energy here. And to me, this says that ultimately it looks like things will start to balance out for you guys as we move through the month. So as far as Libra in particular, that area of the zodiac's a little quiet right now. But regardless, I feel like this is saying that as the month progresses, you will start to at least feel a little bit more balanced and settled. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Devil. So yeah, so this is Capricorn energy here, but more so, I feel like this is saying like you feel like you can't pull yourselves away from your work, right? Like I said, you just feel like we mentioned the political and economic climate right now is a little chaotic. So maybe you just feel like, okay, of all the times, this is not the time where I could afford to fall behind, right? So you could just really feel like even if you want to break away from your work, right? Maybe there's a part of you that would like to go explore and do things with friends and family, but there's this other part of you that's like, okay, this is not the right time to rest on my laurels. In the environment position, we have the Knight of Swords. So yeah, so this is Gemini energy here. And I feel like this could be connected to what we were saying with the Seven of Wands, where you might just feel like your environment's a bit overwhelming this month. On a more positive side of things, though, this could just be saying that when we start to get closer to Gemini season toward the end of the month, that's when you might actually start to feel like conditions are improving, given that it's moving right toward the Justice energy there. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. So yeah, so for some of you, again, like I said, similar to what I'm seeing with the Page of Wands, some of you might actually want a fresh start, right? Maybe you do want to explore new areas, maybe even move into a new field altogether, but just again, might not feel like the timing's right now. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is Capricorn energy here. So yeah, ultimately, this could just be saying that you might just really decide to buckle down and be very resourceful this month, so really thinking through as far as budgeting, right, and making sure you're not doing any frivolous spending, things along those lines there, and really just giving a lot of thought to where you put your money, time, and energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. So this is actually the major arcana card for your sign, and this could just be nudging you to, in some way, try to tune into your more spiritual and intuitive side to help you navigate through these energies as well. From the Four Agreements deck, we have Be Impeccable with Your Word, and it says Cultivate Faith. So definitely sounds similar to the theme of the Hierophant, but let's see if we get that to focus. There we go. It says, to have great faith is to have great power, because your intent, your will, is undivided. When your word is anticipated by doubt, the power of your word becomes even stronger. So, to read that message there makes me think of the Seven of Wands in a different way as well, to say that, you may need to really stand your ground this month as well, right? So even if you do feel like people are getting you to, or trying to get you to cave in certain ways, I feel like this is saying, you have to come forward with confidence and let them know that, you know what needs to be done, and you're just trying to focus on that for the time being. From the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have By the Book. There's the artwork, and the number is 11. So we'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural or family customs, universal laws. The Oracle's message: the universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them, rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. So interesting there. Reading that second half of the message especially made me think of the Justice card in the near future. So I feel like this is saying that ultimately, if you do stay on the path that feels like the path that you feel like you need to this month, it looks like things will even out. The relationship message says getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find a middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. So, interesting message there. This didn't necessarily come across as a romantic connection. Again, like I said, this feels like maybe family, things like that. But if you guys are looking for relationship guidance, hopefully that resonated. The prosperity message says at this time you can expect a return on your investment. Whatever you have pursued, be it a dream you've long cherished, a skill you've cultivated, or a service you're called to, will come to you if you are willing to go by the book. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to be successful. Follow in the footsteps of others who have already achieved the things you're striving for. You can learn a lot by observing the structures that are already working. Your creative projects and commitment to prosperity are in alignment with the needs of the world, but impatience may tempt you to cut corners to get there more quickly. Stick with what you know works, and you will attract abundance. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, and that makes me think of the energy of the Eight of Pentacles. So, like I said, it feels like you might just be feeling a little bit overwhelmed this month. I feel like this is saying ultimately, if you could just stay the course and ride it out, things will start to improve for you guys fairly soon. So once again, happy birthday. We'll wrap up there, and we'll see you all next month. All right, bye.